Tens of thousands of pro-Palestinian protesters marched through downtown Washington, D.C. on Saturday. Organizers hoped it would be the largest U.S. demonstration of its kind since Israel began shelling Gaza after Hamas attacked the country last month. The crowd waved Palestinian flags, held posters and chanted slogans during National March on Washington Free Palestine, which took place alongside similar events in the United States and elsewhere around the world. Organizers representing or supported by dozens of pro-Palestinian groups directed marchers to Freedom Plaza in the nation's capital before marching past the White House. Now is the time to stand with the Palestinian people under siege. Gaza is being hit every hour. Food, water and electricity are not provided to the Israeli people. Tens of thousands more people are likely to die. We must take action. The Act Now to Stop War and End Racism coalition said on its website. The march, along with protests in New York, Seattle, other U.S. cities, was part of an intensifying push to demand both a ceasefire in the Israel-Gaza conflict and an end to U.S. Western military aid Israel. Demonstrations in support of Palestine were also held in London, Berlin, Paris, Ankara and Istanbul, sending a similar message to both Israel and the Western governments that support it. In London, television footage showed large crowds of sit-in protests blocking parts of the city centre. Reported that protesters held Freedom for Palestine banners and chanted immediate ceasefire and "We are all Palestinians. In our thousands. In our millions." Answers director Brian Becker told the crowd in Washington that U.S. support for the Palestinian people has entered a new era that has never been seen before. But 7 years later, Mandela became president of South Africa. Becker said change is at great speed, but it's result of what's happening communities and the streets, not because of what's Congress or who is White House. Change comes from us, he said. We are sending a strong message to Joe Biden. A very strong message if you stand for genocide. We will find you guilty of genocide. When killed 10,000 Palestinians not because what they did but because of who they are. When you commit genocide against a people and destroy a people in whole or in part, are guilty genocide. And that's why I am going to the White House, Becker added. Signs of a divide between traditional pro-Israel Democratic Party supporters and young voters, including Arab Americans, over the Israel-Gaza conflict were made clear in a speech by Nihad Awad, National Director of the Council on American-Islamic Relations. The language that President Biden and his party understand language of the votes in 2023 elections. And our message is this: if there no ceasefire, there are no votes, Awad said, adding that next year's presidential elections could be held. No Michigan, Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. According to Hamas-run Gaza Health Mini,